Hi guys, Howard Croston, the Hardy Product Manager. What I'm going to do today is quickly take you through some of the key new products for the Hardy brand this year. First of all, I'm going to tell you about a couple of new Hardy made in England classic fly reels. Now one of them is, to be honest, a personal favourite of mine. It's actually the first Hardy fly reel that I ever bought with my own money. It was actually winnings from a casting competition when I was about 10 or 12 years old. It was actually the biggest selling Hardy fly reel of all time when we originally launched it, and that's the Hardy Sovereign reel. Now, the original Hardy Sovereign was in a gold colour. What we've decided to do this time is launch it in two new colourways, a Spitfire Silver and Gold colourway, and a black and gold colourway. Now, these reels are available in sizes from a 5'6", right the way through to a 9'10", so it covers you for everything from trout fishing right the way up to salmon and sea trout fishing. Now, some of the features of the Sovereign. If you remember the original Sovereign, basically this is exactly the same reel. The spools are even interchangeable between the original one and this new version. They're fully bar stock, CNC machined. They've got a full disc drag system. They've also got this really cool, what we call a poacher switch on the back, which basically enables you to activate or deactivate the clicker by just simply sliding the button. Now, with it being a classic reel, it's got that very classic raspy Hardy sound. Full range disc drag, from a very, very light setting right up to really, really powerful drag. And then another really cool, neat little feature that we've got on these, again like the original, on the inside, the left-right conversion is literally a flick of the switch. That is a really key feature that Hardy developed many, many years ago, and we've got it in this new Sovereign reel also. So that's the Sovereign. Again, like I said, an absolute personal favourite. It's a standard arbor reel, so for those of you who are used to the more modern large arbors, it may look a little bit small in overall diameter, but as a classic reel, there is nothing to beat it when it comes to a combination of classic craftsmanship and high performance. The second reel I'm going to take you through is a 1912 narrow spool Perfect. Now this reel, available in two sizes, 2 7/8 and 3 1/8, and this is the classic Perfect fly reel in the narrow spool format. They're available in both left and right hand wind configurations. You can't actually change the reel between left and right hand wind because it's got this red agate line guard which is fixed in place. So you need to buy it in the wind that you would like to use it. Again, this is fully CNC, bar stock, machined in Alnwick, England in our factory. It's got a compensating click check mechanism, and as a classic fly reel for use on either a bamboo or a shorter carbon fibre rod or even a glass fibre rod, there really is nothing to compare to the original Perfect fly reel. I'm going to take you through the two hottest topics in fly rods for Hardy this year. We've brought out a new premium range of rods called the Marksman series. Now, they're available in both the Marksman Freshwater and the Marksman Z, which would be a specific saltwater rod or something for use in sort of more high performance situations or where you're casting bigger flies like pike fishing, all that kind of stuff. So with the standard Marksman Freshwater rod, you have a full range of sizes that covers everything from small rivers right the way through to big reservoirs. Now this particular rod is a 10 foot for an 8. This is one of my favourite rods for use on small still waters and on large reservoirs. It's also a very good sea trout rod. Like I said, there is a full range of models. I use them in all of the different sizes for different things. The 9'5" for dries, the 10 foot 6 weight for dries on still waters, a really, really big comprehensive range. Some of the key features on the Marksman. They're manufactured using the Sintrix FLT material. Now, that is a new version of our legendary Sintrix material. Basically what it allows us to do is significantly reduce the weights even from the original ultralights, which was very, very light already. So these rods on average are around about 10 to 13% lighter per model. On a fly rod that literally weighs nothing already, it's a massive, massive weight saving. So these things are literally weightless in the hand. They've got incredible swing weight, but they're still very powerful and they're very, very durable. A few of the other features, we've got titanium framed SIC line guides. We've got the recoil snake intermediates, the titanium alloy, so they're crushable without damaging. We've got a very, very lightweight, custom designed up-locking aluminium and carbon reel seat. Again, that further helps to reduce the weight. And we've got a floor grade cork handle. This particular rod has had an absolute hammering. I've been using this for the last 2 years since I started developing them, and it's still in cracking nick. It's a really, really good piece of cork. Action-wise, they're on the sort of faster end of middle to tip, but like I do with all of the fly rods in the range, I very, very carefully calibrate the actions to meet the main kinds of fishing that we use for. So in the lighter line sizes, you'll find that action is more tuned towards line control and accuracy. In the heavier line sizes, it'll be more tuned to the faster end of the scale, where we've got a more powerful blank, where we maybe want to cast a little bit further. So they're all tweaked to match that specific kind of fishing. Moving on to the Marksman Z, got a range of rods that runs from a 9 foot for a 6 right the way through to a 9 foot for a 12. They're all 4-piece and they all use Sintrix FLT material again. Now, one really important thing, I decided not to take the very, very high weight savings that were available with the material. I instead decided to move that a little bit more towards further improving the durability. The reason being, these kind of rods that are used in saltwater a lot often come under incredible pressure, particularly when you're landing very, very large saltwater fish right at the side of the boat. So I decided to add more material down into the butt section. So if you're fishing tarpon, for argument's sake, and you want to put a lot of pressure on a fish next to the boat, it's given the rod increased lifting power in the butt section. They're still a very, very light rod, and they are still lighter than the rod that it actually replaces. The action is fast, so it's a high recovery, fast action on all of the models. The reason being that high recovery speed helps you generate tighter loops and beat the wind when you're fishing in saltwater environments or when you're throwing very, very big air-resistant pike flies on overweighted lines, which it's also very suitable for. The reel seat, full aluminium, anodized, double up looking. We've actually made this now so it's a slightly tighter fit than on previous generations. We've done that so that when you really screw this fitting down, it gets a very, very tight fit on the reel, so you don't get anything coming loose when you're fighting a particularly big fish. Again, floor grade cork, the very best that we can find. A really, really interesting thing which a lot of people ask questions about is the ringing system on this rod. What we've done is gone with what we've called a hybrid ringing system. So basically, this first stripper guide is a ceramic lined recoil stripper. So that's the flexible REC guide, but with a ceramic liner in it. Now, what that actually does, it kills some of the noise that you get from textured saltwater fly lines. So some of those lines that are out there on the market actually make quite a bit of noise when you cast with them, particularly in saltwater environments where the sun is drying the fly line out. So that ceramic liner helps reduce some of that noise. The second guide is a standard REC recoil stripper without the liner. That means we've got a very, very durable second stripper guide on there, which is actually lighter than the first stripper guide, so it's about pulling the weight down further. All of the intermediates are double-legged titanium recoils. And then another key point, which some people overlook, both of the stripper guides on this rod have been under-whipped. So we lay a bed of tie-in thread down before we tie the guide onto the blank. And basically what that does, it helps protect the blank from the guide foot. So when this rod is coming under massive pressure at the side of the boat, when you're really lifting on a big fish, it helps prevent that guide foot from damaging the carbon blank underneath it. All in all, the Marksman and the Marksman Z are to date the best rods that we've put out under the Hardy brand. They're absolutely killer bits of kit. If you can get out and try them, I suggest you do. Sportfish have got them. You're quite able to go down and try the rods at one of their locations. But get out, have a go and see if there is a Marksman rod that's ideal for you.